In a move that was expected, the Chicago Bulls have now signed Javonte Green for the remainder of the season, which means that they've also had a waive a player. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the content for today. So, Javonte Green has officially now been signed for the remainder of the season for the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls, who did sign Javonte Green to a 10-day contract and could have theoretically signed him to another one, have decided to forego that. Go ahead and sign him for the remainder of the season. This now does make him eligible to play on the Chicago Bulls play-in roster. But as many people know, the Bulls did not have an open roster spot, which means they also waived forward Terry Taylor to make space to now sign Javonte Green. Signing him now, Javonte Green, 6'5", 205 pounds, has averaged 5 points, 3.7 rebounds in 17 minutes over the 3 games he has played for the Chicago Bulls on that initial 10-day contract. We've seen it, how Javonte Green has impacted the Chicago Bulls defense. I've talked about it. His plus-minus numbers with him being on the court, the net rating for the Chicago Bulls, the defensive rating is all exponentially better with Javonte Green on the court. So the Bulls, who are looking and destined for that play-in matchup with the Atlanta Hawks, have added some needed defense that could help the team guard the three-point line a little bit better. Also somebody who can play in multiple positions for the Chicago Bulls. He plays guard, he plays forward. It doesn't matter. You put Javonte Green on the court, he makes an impact for the Chicago Bulls. On top of the team, of course, being familiar with him, Terry Taylor, not a player who's played a whole hell of a lot for the Chicago Bulls. But as much as I am excited and I love to see that Javonte Green is back on the Chicago Bulls permanently now for the rest of the season, no questions about him being able to play in the play-in. This means even if Julian Phillips is cleared soon, we'll have both of those guys on a roster. But this is, again, something that the Bulls are making a move for the now, right? And that means a player like Onuralp Bitim is not going to probably be playing a whole heck of a lot of minutes. And keep in mind, this is a guy who brings some needed three-point shooting. And so the Bulls are, once again, doubling down on veterans. Now, again, Javonte Green has a great impact when he's on the court for the Bulls. So you cannot deny that impact. But this is, once again, the Bulls going with the move to maintain the now, then maybe do something that affects, the now, but, is a bigger thing for the future as far as getting OB acclimated and things like that. So, but like I said, I don't say that to knock Javonte at all. I want Javonte Green on this team. It's just that I don't necessarily trust Billy Donovan, the coach, for that to mean, hey, let's still play these young guys. Probably means that Javonte Green, over 30-year-old player, is going to be getting the majority of the minutes off the bench for the Chicago Bulls. And hey, if it helps the Bulls win now, especially as they're trying to go to the play-in, all those type of things, okay, cool. But ultimately, we still need shooting on this team. We still need to develop those things on this team. And so, we'll see what that means, man. And again, Javonte is good for the locker room. He's good for young players like Dalen Terry to kind of understand the work ethic and the things that are needed, even when you aren't necessarily better than some of the players that you're going to be guarding, how you can still affect and impact the game. So Javonte is great for culture. He's great for all that. When him, AC, and Drummond are on the court, the Bulls average a defensive rating of 80. 80! Let's be clear, that is one of the best marks you will ever see for defensive rating. So again, yes, it's only over 3 games. We need to see it to see how much of that's going to be maintained. And the Bulls have now made their decision. At the end of the day, Javonte Green is now, again, a Chicago Bull permanently for the rest of the season at least. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is a precursor to him also re-signing in the offseason, considering the Bulls are going to be right up against that luxury tax. And this may be a sign as far as the Bulls running it back. We'll see how that plays off. But, guys, let me know what you guys think all down below on Javonte Green returning to the Chicago Bulls. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.